The final cut is a masterpiece, but the first draft is a war zone. This is between the frames. In a film defined by impossible imagesties folding over themselves, zero-gravity fights, dreams within dreams, one sequence has become synonymous with practical filmmaking audacity. The rotating hallway fight, as Arthur battles projections in a dream layer where gravity has lost all meaning, walls become floors, bodies float, and the entire environment spins like a barrel in a relentless, disorienting chase. It is a scene that feels like pure digital illusion, the kind of moment modern blockbusters routinely hand over to CGI artists. But the truth is more astonishing. Christopher Nolan built that hallway. He built it to spin on a massive hydraulic gimbal. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt didn't just act in it, he trained for weeks to fight, fall and move in a state of simulated zero gravity. So how do you create a sequence that defies physics by fully embracing engineering? And why would a director in the digital age choose the complexity, cost, and risk of a multi-ton practical set over computer-generated convenience? Today, we're going between the frames to understand the practical magic of Christopher Nolan and how he made the impossible tangible. The initial vision for the hallway fight, as storyboarded by Nolan and his team, was actually a hybrid approach. Early pre-visualization combined traditional wearwork, extensive green screen, and digital effects to create the illusion of a rotating space. Actors would be suspended on wires, pretending to slide along walls that weren't really there, with the spinning motion added later by a computer. But when Nolan reviewed the test footage, something felt fundamentally wrong. It looked weightless, artificial, precisely the video game-like aesthetic he vehemently avoids. Nolan famously insists on in-camera effects wherever possible. It's not just about a stubborn old-school preference, it's a core philosophical belief. He argues that practical effects give actors something authentic to react to and create a tangible, photographic reality that audiences instinctively feel, even if they can't articulate why. The light reflects off real surfaces, dust particles catch the light in a real way, and human bodies move with a sense of genuine mass and effort. So the mandate was clear: find a way to build it for real. This seemingly impossible brief was handed to production designer Guy Hendricks Dias and special effects supervisor Chris Corbould. They had to construct a fully functional, rotating hotel corridor that could safely spin 360 degrees while actors performed complex fight choreography inside. The initial designs were quickly rejected. They were either too dangerous, too slow to rotate for the dynamic action Nolan wanted, or too fragile to withstand the punishment of a film shoot. For a moment, it looked like the entire sequence might be scrapped or relegated back to the very VFX it was trying to escape. The breakthrough came when Corbould, a veteran of complex mechanical effects, recalled Aerospace Training Simulator specifically, the massive gimbal systems used to disorient pilots and astronauts by spinning them on multiple axes. The plan shifted dramatically. They weren't just going to fake a spin, they were going to engineer a controlled state of chaos. The question was no longer how to fake it, but how to build it. The pivotal mechanism was the construction and operation of the rotating set, a monumental feat of interdisciplinary collaboration. The engineering alone was breathtaking. The team constructed a 100-foot-long, fully dressed hotel corridor. This wasn't a lightweight mock-up, it was built with the structural integrity of a real hallway, complete with lighting fixtures, wallpaper, and doors. This entire structure was then built inside a massive, reinforced steel cage, like a ship in a bottle. This cage was mounted on a central axle, connected to 8 enormous, concentric steel rings. Powering the whole thing was a colossal hydraulic system, driven by 2 450-horsepower electric motors that could make the entire rig weighing several tons spin at variable speeds. It could move from a slow, disorienting creep to a full, continuous 7 revolutions per minute roll, all controlled with pinpoint precision from an external operator's console. With this much weight and power in motion, safety was the absolute, non-negotiable priority. Any actor or crew member inside the rig was harnessed at all times, with safety lines discreetly hidden from the camera's view. An emergency stop button could halt the rotation instantly. On set, a full medical team and fire crews were on constant standby. Every single movement was first rehearsed at a crawl, then at slow speed, before ever committing it to film at full velocity. The set was less of a film set and more of a complex, industrial machine that just happened to look like a luxury hotel. This mechanical marvel meant nothing, however, without the human element to make it come alive. Stunt coordinator Tom Struthers worked with Joseph Gordon-Levitt for weeks, not just teaching him fight moves, but retraining his entire sense of balance and motion. They trained in a static mock-up of the hallway, designing choreography that used momentum instead of gravity. Punches had to be thrown with the rotation to have any force. Falls had to be timed perfectly with the set's position to look convincing. Every jump, every stumble, every desperate grab for a handhold had to account for a world where the floor was about to become the ceiling. Gordon-Levitt, who did almost all of his own stunts for the sequence, described the experience as physically grueling, like doing an intense workout for weeks on end while being constantly dizzy. This commitment to physicality extended to the cinematography. Nolan and cinematographer Wally Pfister didn't want the camera to be an objective observer. They wanted the audience to feel the spin, so they mounted cameras directly onto the rotating structure itself. Handheld cameras were also used, operated by harnessed camera operators who had to move, fight, and balance right alongside the actors. This is why the final scene feels so seamless and immersive. The disorientation is real because the camera is experiencing the exact same physics as the characters. No digital camera movement was added in post-production to fake the effect. What you see is what they shot. This radical commitment to practical filmmaking had profound ripple effects, not just on the scene, but on the film and the industry at large. First, it led to incredible performance authenticity. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's exhaustion, his disorientation, and his physical struggle are all genuine. His body is actually fighting momentum and centrifugal force. That strain you see in his face as he scrambles up a wall is not just acting. It sets the real physical toll of performing in an environment that is actively trying to throw him off balance. That's an authenticity that simply cannot be replicated. Second, it created stunning visual cohesion because the lighting, the shadows, the reflections of the polished wood, and the physics of falling objects were all captured in camera. The scene integrates seamlessly into the film's grounded, photorealistic aesthetic. It feels tangibly real, even within the fantastic logic of a dream. There's no telltale digital sheen or floatiness that separates it from the rest of the movie. Our brains accept the impossible because it's presented with undeniable reality. Third, it reinforced Nolan's directorial philosophy. His build-it-for-real ethos became a new benchmark for practical effects in blockbuster filmmaking. The success of the hallway scene helped validate a return to tangible craftsmanship, influencing later films like Mad Max, Fury Road and Dune which similarly prioritized real-world stunts and massive sets over purely digital creation. It proved that in an age of infinite digital possibilities, there is still immense power in physical spectacle. And finally, it shines a light on the unsung heroes of filmmaking, the special effects engineers who designed and operated the rig, the stunt team who choreographed a fight against physics, and the construction crews who built a world only to spin it on its head. These were the true architects of this iconic moment. Their work is visible in every single frame, yet their contributions are often overlooked in favor of the director or the star. This scene is a monument to their ingenuity. The legacy of the spinning hallway extends far beyond the screen. The principle at play is constraints breed creativity, not compromise. Nolan's choice to build a spinning hallway wasn't just a flex of budget or will it, was a recognition that physical reality imposes creative limits that often yield more innovative, authentic results than unlimited digital freedom. The problem wasn't just make a hallway spin, it was how do we make it spin safely, with actors, with cameras, and make it look good. That friction of reality is what produced the breakthrough. For creators in any field, whether you're making a film, designing a product, writing software, or telling a story, the lesson is clear. Whenever possible, create tangible, experiential prototypes. Work within real-world constraints. The limitations you encounter often force you to discover solutions that pure imagination alone cannot. What other film scenes have amazed you because you later learned they were achieved practically, not digitally? Share them in the comments below. We'd love to read them. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to Between the Frames.